Another mass shooting in the Midwest. Details coming up.
Plus, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine has caused a slowdown in vaccine rollouts. We'll break it down for you in our lead report.
And an iconic California theater chain announced they will not be reopening their doors. Stay tuned for more in entertainment.
A year after being postponed, the Tokyo Olympics are finally starting to light up. Hear about some of the latest developments in sports. Newscene starts now.
Good evening, I'm Benjamin Guadarrama, and welcome to this week's edition of Newscene. We start tonight's show with yet another mass shooting in America, this time in Indiana. Late last night, an unidentified gunman opened fire at a FedEx facility near the Indianapolis airport. When police arrived at the facility, the gunman reportedly took his own life. Police spokeswoman Jania Cook had this to say.
After a preliminary search of the grounds, inside and out, we have located 8 people at the scene with injuries consistent to gunshot wounds. Those 8 were pronounced deceased here at the scene.
This will mark the 45th mass shooting in America since mid-March. And moving on closer to home, this week's vaccination numbers continue to increase as eligibility opens up. In San Diego County, over 760,000 people have been fully vaccinated. That's just over 38% of people over the age of 16. However, 281 new cases have been reported, with 25 new deaths. More San Diegans will be eligible for the vaccine starting today, as the state is now allowing for those 16 and older to have access. However, recent complications with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine has slowed vaccine rollouts. Devon, tell us more.
Thank you, Ben. And the CDC has delayed its decision on what to do with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine until April 23rd. A small string of blood clots in the patients receiving the vaccine, specifically women, has caused a nationwide wave of skepticism about the drug. Even though the cases of the incident were less than 1 in a million, the CDC has recommended a pause on the vaccine out of an abundance of caution, they said. The pause on the drug will continue as experts determine its risks. But with case rates climbing in 22 states, it is still highly recommended to seek one of the alternate vaccine choices, such as Moderna or Pfizer. Reporting for Newscene, this is Devon Doane. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Devon. And Governor Newsom has signed a new plan worth over $500 million. The plan focuses on fire safety and prevention in hopes of getting ahead of this year's fire season. Coming off a record-breaking fire season last year, the governor has his eyes set on breaking a few records himself.
Every year we seem to break these records, but this year we're also breaking another record, and that's a commitment to put real working capital to address some of the root causes, to focus in on our prevention and fuel breaks, and to invest an historic amount of money in preparation of this year's fire season.
This plan comes at a desperate time. According to the National Drought Monitor, almost 95% of California is currently in a drought. And President Joe Biden says he will pull all of the U.S. forces out of Afghanistan by September 11th. The decision comes as Biden pays respects to the victims of the 9/11 terrorist attack of 2001. Republican leaders like Senator Mitch McConnell believe removing troops now is a mistake.
Withdrawing U.S. forces from Afghanistan is a grave mistake. It is a retreat in the face of an enemy that has not yet been vanquished.
Biden says the war must end and troops will be removed. He also says it will be done in a safe and timely manner with the support from our allies. Soldiers will begin their departure on May 1st, 2021. President Biden also went on to sign an executive order imposing new sanctions on Russia. The move is in response to concerns over interference in the US elections and aggression along the border with Ukraine. Over 40 Russian individuals and entities are being targeted. 10 Russian diplomats are also going to be expelled from the US.
We want a stable, predictable relationship. If Russia continues to interfere with our democracy, I'm prepared to take further actions to respond.
And the recent distressing murder of Dante Wright still has people calling for justice.
Said if we don't get no justice!
Brooklyn Center residents have taken to the streets in protest. However, Wright's mother doesn't believe that justice can truly be served.
So justice isn't even a word to me. I do want accountability, 100% accountability. Like my sister said, the highest accountability. Amen. But even then, when that happens, if that even happens, we're still going to bury our son.
Kim Potter, the officer responsible for Wright's death, resigned from her position on Tuesday. She's been charged with second-degree manslaughter. And just 10 miles away, the testimony of ex-Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin ended on Thursday and will resume on Monday. The defendant has invoked his Fifth Amendment right and won't testify in his defense. Judge Peter Kale did not allow the prosecution to introduce new evidence related to carbon monoxide levels in George Floyd's blood. Kale says they could discuss Floyd's oxygen levels but could not present any test results at all, because a mistrial would be ruled. Switching gears now, a popular movie theater chain in California is experiencing the end of an era. Jillian, can you tell us more?
Thank you, Ben. Theaters are slowly rebounding from the pandemic, but some cinema locations will not be returning. Pacific Theaters and ArcLight Cinemas have announced they are closing their doors permanently. A Pacific Theater spokesperson says the company does not have a viable way forward. Many entertainment industry professionals and celebrities took to social media to share dismay over the news. The company expressed gratitude to their employees and guests for the years of support. And former Bachelor star Colton Underwood just revealed he is gay in an emotional Good Morning America interview. Underwood says he has known the truth about his sexuality since a young age, but could never come to terms with it. Over the past year, he felt that he could finally be honest with himself and the rest of the world. He says he is very nervous about this announcement, but Colton feels that he's now the happiest and healthiest he's ever been. And that's all we have for entertainment this week. Back to you, Ben.
Thank you, Jillian. And in news overseas, Japan will start releasing treated radioactive water from its damaged Fukushima nuclear power plant. Storage capacity at the site will be full next fall, prompting government officials to announce their plan. The decision is worrying the country's neighbors and locals alike, with concerns regarding safety and a negative impact on the fishing industry. The power plant was decommissioned after the tsunami that hit the region 10 years ago. The water will not be released for another 2 years. And Japan has yet to vaccinate even 1% of their population. The country prioritized their doses for frontline medical staff. Inoculations for those 65 and over started this week, which marks the first vaccinations for members of the public. Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga has claimed he is trying to obtain 100 million doses before the end of June. Will this have an effect on the Tokyo Olympics coming up this summer? Noelle is here to tell us.
We are less than 100 days until the start of the Tokyo Olympics. The Games have been delayed by a full year due to the pandemic, but this week, the Olympic Committee has unveiled many new updates.
On Wednesday, the ceremonial torch relay passed through Osaka at a closed park where no spectators could attend or view the event. This comes after a surge of COVID-19 infections in Japan. On Tuesday, Osaka reported over 1,100 new cases, making it the highest daily count since the pandemic began. In addition to the relay, a ceremony was held with the help of Olympic mascot Maria Toa to unveil multiple items. A statue of the mascots was revealed at the same time as the Olympic rings.
As cases rise in Japan, we will see what happens in regards to the spectators at the Games. Back to you, Ben.
And Brazil is now the global epicenter of the COVID-19 pandemic. The South American nation has sadly broken its record for total deaths in a single day with over 4,200 deaths. The country's president has refused pandemic safety measures like mask mandates, social distancing, and discouraged vaccinations. Experts warn Brazil could soon see 5,000 deaths a day from the pandemic. In lighter news, we have some nice weather coming up in the next few days. Devon, tell us more.
Thank you, Ben. I haven't seen you since the lead report. It's good to see you again, buddy. And you're absolutely right. We do have some nice weather coming down our way. Right now in our look ahead, we have some patchy fog in the mornings. We're going to see a temperature rise coming up and some variable winds to look out for the next few days. But currently, on the coast, over by City College, there in the downtown area, we're looking around 60 degrees with some cloud cover. As we go inland, that clears up. But if you take a look at the inland all the way to the desert, 20-degree difference out here in the county. So big, huge variation in that temperature. If we take a look at our 5-day forecast, what's up ahead of us, you ask? Well, we're going to see a rise in these temperatures all the way up to Monday where we peak out in the 80s. But then by Wednesday, if you take another look, we're going to have some cloud cover and the temperatures are going to dip again. So you're going to get that nice little weekend beach day ready to go for you. We're also going to have some variable winds to look out for all the way through Monday as well, up to 25 miles per hour. So with that heat and that wind, once again, we are in Southern California. Keep out for those wildfires. Keep in mind all the dangers that come with that. That's it for weather. Back to you guys.
And get ready for silky strings and triumphant pianos. San Diego Symphony, The Shell, will be opening this summer. After delays in 2020, the $85 million Bayside venue is nearing completion. It will host up to 10,000 people. The distinct horn-shaped building will be able to be heard across the water for miles. An opening date has not been set. That's all we have for tonight. You could tune into Newscene for a new show every Friday. And find it all on sdcitytimes.com, and remember to follow SD City Newscene on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Thank you, and good night.